Hi, my name is Tatiana and I'm a realtor in Tampa. I've also done business in Orlando. Today we're going to talk about real estate lingo. These are just some basic words that I'm going to throw at you and give you a quick explanation. So if you were entering into the real estate world, you get comfortable and you're not overwhelmed by, oh my God, what are they talking about? What does this mean? So here they are. A realtor versus a real estate agent. These are two terms, and sometimes you're wondering, like, why does one people call themselves realtors and the other group calls themselves real estate agent? It's super simple. We are all technically real estate agents, but some of us have the designation of realtor because we're part of the National Association of Realtors, which basically means that we're held to a higher standard of ethics and compliance, and we have more education required by the National Association of Realtors to be part of that group. Then you have buyer and seller. Buyer means the person who's purchasing the property. A seller is somebody who's selling the property. You also have the buyer's agent and the seller's agent. Those are the agents that represent either or both parties. Sometimes you have both, sometimes it's either. The state of Florida allows us to do both. You have an inspector. That's somebody that comes to the property and inspects the property, makes sure that everything's in compliance or finds any issues with the property as well. Then you have what's called an appraiser, somebody that comes over and values the property based on what's sold in the area, the comparables, the size, the acreage, the years, any remodeling, any updates that the house has compared to everything else that's on the market. That's the appraiser. Then you have a surveyor. The surveyor comes a little later in the transaction, and they come out and they measure the property to make sure that if it said it was half an acre, the land is actually half an acre and not less or more, and they'll give you the measurements. They also show you any easements or any property lines. So if you're thinking about getting a fence later on, or if you're looking to dig or build, whatever the situation might be, the surveyor is going to give you a map at the end of the transaction. You have a lender, you have a bank, and you have a mortgage broker. These are three different entities that can give you money when you're looking to purchase a property with a loan. So a bank, just like Chase, Bank of America, Wachovia, whatever bank you want to choose, it's a national name brand. They often have higher restrictions, so you would need a higher credit score or less debt, stuff like that. Then you have a lender. Those are a little more local to your area. They're smaller corporations that have better plans. They often have a plethora of down payment assistance programs. They are flexible with your credit score. And then you have what we call the mortgage broker. The mortgage broker is kind of like the big daddy of the lenders. They have multiple lenders underneath them. So instead of just dealing with one lender, you go to mortgage broker, and they have what basically is they'll sell your application or your package to multiple lenders and say, hey, who's going to give me the best option? So I often recommend speaking to at least two corporations, whether you want to deal with your bank or with a lender or a mortgage broker. Get your options ready and see which one benefits you the most. Then you have your title. The title is a title company. What they do is they manage and they handle the entire transaction once it's all set, once it's out of the inspection appraisal section. And they make sure that all the documents are good to go, that you're good at closing to sign over or sign to be the new homeowner of that property. They make sure that the title is clean, that there's no liens on it, that nobody has any pending legal requirements for the property, and it's free and clear for you. You also have in the transaction, you have the transaction coordinator, somebody that often coordinates all of this, right? So a lot of agents have a transaction coordinator, some don't. It's basically an administrative individual who handles everything on the background. They will often help the buyer or the seller schedule the inspections, the appraisal, speak to the title company, make phone calls, etc. And often for the sellers, the people that are looking to sell a house, they often have also a photographer. So it's somebody that comes in and makes your house look nice and pretty, so we can display that on the internet. So if you have any questions on any of these, please feel free to leave me a message or a comment, DM, whatever you feel the most comfortable with, and I'd be happy to answer those questions and provide you a little more guidance. Okay, thanks.